Well, in our first story, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, says government's lack of engagement over the proposed domestic debt exchange program is one of the reasons they will not support it. Speaking in an interview over the proposed Government of Ghana alternative offer for pension funds, President of UTAG, Professor Solomon Nuno, said they will resist any attempt to reintroduce any policy that will touch their pension funds of lectures.
So for us as UTAG, and I believe I speak for the most of the labor unions, when I say that we can look at alternative ways that does not come anywhere close to the inclusion of pension funds. So we can sit and then consider the best ways possible. We have always engaged government, and any government functionary you go to will tell you that UTAG is open-minded and always ready to engage with government and assist. But for now, we believe that pension funds should not be added. That one is a no-go area, and that's why I keep repeating that let's not even get engaged with that one at all.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says government is not reintroducing any new debt exchange program.
There is no second round of DDEP. And what we know and that we are doing is that there were some outstanding instruments to work on, and that really was the cocoa bills from Cocoa Board, and also the government of Ghana US denominated local bonds.
Now, security analyst Emmanuel Koting has questioned the police's competence to investigate the actions and statements of political figures. Now, he believes that the police administration lacks the necessary independence to carry out its intentions. His remarks comes after a meeting between the IGP and two main political parties, the ruling MPP and the opposition NDC, over some remarks that were deemed unacceptable.
The last 2 weeks saw the National Democratic Congress (NDC) and the New Patriotic Party (NPP) trading harsh words. The Agric Minister Brian Champon's remarks were the catalyst for the entire situation. Following a number of petitions from each party, the police administration met with the leaders of the two parties in Accra. During this discussion, both parties were requested to refrain from interfering with the work of the police. The police warned in a statement that while they would welcome political party criticism, any attempt to direct them on what to do would not be permitted. However, a security analyst, Emmanuel Koting, says the police cannot carry out its own plans without influence from outside sources.
If you look at this novel initiative, it's not the first time it has been constituted before. If you remember, during the administration of Kufuor in 2004, a similar initiative was taken, but politics took a better part of it. Events cast its own shadows. Look at the electoral violence we have had over the period. Not a single prosecution. When you ask the police, they will tell you they are at various stages of investigations. Look at what happened in Ayawaso. They are still investigating. The 2020 elections, that 7 innocent citizens lost their lives. They are still investigating.
He noted that unless the important police positions are depoliticized, actions like those discussed during the meeting might not be successful.
IGP's hands are tied. He can bring all the beautiful policies on paper. One man can just decide that, you know what, I don't need you as the IGP. So what happened to that policy?
The police have established a secretariat to oversee election security and a special legal squad to investigate occurrences involving politics. Christian Yali, TV3 News.
Now, consumers will be paying more for goods and services when the 3 newly introduced taxes by government takes off. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mark Bedu-Abuachi, tells TV3 aside its increases in prices of goods and services, it could ultimately lead to job losses and business closures. George Queenan reports.
14 Pro, I gave 256 gig, 15,000.
This same customer could be paying between 16,000 and 18,000 cedis for an iPhone 14 Pro Max following the implementation of the new taxes, particularly the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. Ernest Jerrison, who has been in the phone retail business for more than 6 years, tells me he cannot bear the extra charge.
We are going to push that cost to the customer because we are already bearing other costs and we cannot bear this one ourselves. It's the customer who is going to pay for that. And you know, customers are attracted by the pricing, which means that we are going to lose customers if our pricing should go high. And that will affect workers as well as a ripple effect.
For him, they are already dealing with high import duties, VAT, charges on funds transfer, and so the new taxes will worsen their plight.
The pricing of the goods have gone high that buyers are no longer coming. So I think this is going to be a gun at our head as business people. The profit is not even coming, so I don't know what we are taxing.
Emmanuel Ejeyabwa is into phone accessories and is unhappy about current turn of events. He expects government to widen the tax net instead of overburdening few businesses.
I want to ask the government something. If we didn't have side hustles doing this work and they are giving us jobs, how were they going to raise this 4 billion? This is what we are doing, and it's hand to mouth. And it's not like you get money every single day. You get what you work for. And there are sometimes you can come to work and you fall ill for like 2 weeks. No one pays you on, like no sick leave, nothing. You're not getting any money from anywhere. You're supposed to buy food, you know, bills as a young person. And I mean, it's not fair.
The Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill, for instance, imposes a 2.5% on gross profit of all other businesses, including NS phones. Banks, insurance firms, telecommunication companies, breweries, oil marketing companies, mining support firms, shipping lines, maritime and airport terminals will be paying 5% profit before tax. The other two, which are the excise duty and the income tax amendment bills, are all geared towards enhancing government's revenue generation drive. Government expects to rake in 4 billion cedis annually through the taxes. But the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has a different view.
When you are resolving inflation and you are increasing the cost of production in terms of piling up more taxes, you may end up pushing up inflation. And the result that we have achieved will be nothing. It may be difficult for the government to get a 4 billion. The reason being that if you take, for instance, the growth and sustainability levy, it's 5% of gross profit. The businesses are not making profit, so what are you going to tax?
He fears more job losses and business closures.
It's not only the concern of businesses, particularly with this particular tax. Those who are seeking to get employment are going to be affected because businesses will collapse and will not be able to employ. Those who are already working will be laid off. So the businesses are also going through a number and the consumer, you're also going to suffer because they're going to pay more in terms of prices because we cannot absorb.
Earlier, government has stated that the revenue bills were needed to help it complete processes for the $3 billion bailout it is seeking from IMF. The bills have been returned to Parliament for other processes before its implementation. According to the government, through the Information Minister, it's been long overdue and so will be fast-tracked to ensure the needed revenue, which is 4 billion cedis annually, is accrued for nation building. George Queenan, TV3 News, Circle, Accra.
Let's do some more stories now. And the Ghana Statistical Service is conducting its maiden domestic and outbound tourism survey for the country. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna in NIM noted the results will validate the 4.3 million tourist arrivals expected by the sector ministry in 2027.
The surveys, namely the Ghana International Travelers Survey, the Domestic and Outbound Tourism Survey, Accommodation Unit Survey and the Tourism Supply Establishment Survey will be conducted within a year. According to government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna, The objective is to compile a tourism satellite account to serve as a basis for computing the sector's information.
Is going to provide us with comprehensive information, and as part of the comprehensive information, we're going to see which sites they are visiting, what facilities are available, and the key word is how attractive are our tourist sites and whether it holds the potential to be the #1 foreign exchange earner.
According to the UN World Tourism Organization, the sector generated $1.7 trillion in revenues in 2019 and employed 1 out of every 10 workers globally. Chair of the technical team for the survey, Professor Kweku Boakye, indicated that quality and reliable data for development is crucial.
The objective is to get high quality information about, one, the domestic tourism movement within the country, and also movement of domestic or people in Ghana moving outside the country and their expenditure patterns. The essence of these surveys is to move from the anecdotal space into real hard facts. Now, when we get those type of information, we can now make a strong policy point to government.
Professor Nim underscored the need for a reliable and vibrant database as government tries to implement the existing 15-year tourism development plan from 2013 to 2027.
Going forward, we would have the opportunity to update it. Think about it like the way we do our GDP. We always produce GDP figures, but we continuously collect data, rebase it, and provide regular statistics on it. So the aim of Ghana Statistical Service is to institutionalize tourism data, and will be part of our statistical product.
The survey, funded by Harmonizing and Improving Statistics in West Africa, would begin on April 19, 2023.
Now, away from that, there have been widespread reports of strange mobile numbers linked to subscribers' Ghana cards amidst concerns of identity theft and stolen details of affected persons. My colleague Christian Yali visited some mobile network offices in Accra and recounts his experience.
It was a big blow to some telco subscribers when they discovered that their Ghana cards have been used to register strange or unknown numbers. I use 2 numbers for networks A and B, and both have undergone the 2 stages of the same registration exercise. Amid the raging concerns, I visited my network providers to check if my Ghana card details have been used to register strange numbers. And at both offices, it was clear only my 2 mobile numbers have been linked to my Ghana card. But here is a quick observation I made. At network A, they found my number A as the only number on my Ghana card. They could not tell that my number B is also linked to the card. As curious as I was, I checked with network B and they found only my number B. They also could not tell my number A is also linked to my Ghana card.
If you go to a particular network provider, you would see that network provider will not be able to see across networks to find out who else is connected to it. So once the short code comes in, that short code will be connected to the central SIM database that resides with the NCA. So that would be able to tell you across platforms how many SIMs are connected to your phone.
Members of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, including Vodafone, MTN and Airtel Tigo, are in the process of delinking a wide range of SIM cards. Mobile phone subscribers who do not complete their SIM re-registration exercise by close of today, April 17, will have their numbers deactivated.
So it means that not only would you have been barred, but your data will be delinked from the particular SIM card. So what it would mean is as if that number never belonged to you and has been churned and be put back into the system and would be reissued.
But is there a provision for persons with genuine concerns?
When the directive was given for these numbers to be barred, it was also said that anybody who had any issues why they have done only stage 1 and could not do stage 2 should get in touch with the NCA, and some people did. But then if you have started it, then the assumption is that you had a Ghana card which you used in doing your phase 1. So why are you not doing the phase 2?
Just like you, I am patiently waiting for the NCA's short code so I can verify phone numbers that have been linked to my Ghana card. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Let's do some more stories. And the Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Immigration Service has secured a 15-year conviction against a trafficker. The trafficker was found guilty on counts of trafficking girls into Ghana to be engaged in prostitution. Controller General of Immigration Kwame Esuatechi disclosed this at a launch of a migrants support service by Caritas in Accra.
Migration is an expression of a human aspiration for dignity, safety, and a better future. It is a part of a social fabric, part of our very makeup as a human family, and plays a critical role in global development. If properly harnessed, migration could help in the achievement of a sustainable development goals, especially in respect of Goal 1, no poverty, Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, Goal 10 Target 7, reduced inequality in safe, orderly, regular and responsible migration. However, some are taking undue advantage of the systems to abuse the rights of others by trafficking them into various dehumanizing ventures. Ghana is considered as a source, transit and destination country. The Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking in Persons Unit of the Ghana Immigration Service has been investigating and prosecuting cases of human trafficking.
Or being coerced to do things that they would not ordinarily have done. So in this particular situation, it was involving someone who had been moved from one of these West African countries to Ghana, who had been trafficked into Ghana. The matter came to our notice and the immigration successfully investigated it, and the matter was taken to court and we had a successful prosecution. We will normally face challenges in prosecuting human trafficking, but in this case, we were able to gather the necessary evidence and we were successful at court, getting a 15-year prison term for the trafficker who was involved in this particular case.
Caritas Ghana, a relief arm of the National Catholic Secretariat in partnership with the Ghana Immigration Service, is seeking to achieve these goals with a project code-named SMART. The Support Services for Migrants and Refugees in Transit SMART for Inclusive Development Project seeks to effectively manage migration issues and refugees in Ghana.
This project framework will target 800,000 direct beneficiaries and over 145,000 indirect beneficiaries through different medium and interventions as captured under strategic objective.
A private legal practitioner, Clara Bieri Kaseti, is a board member of Caritas Ghana.
Some of them may have left unprepared. They have several needs and they do not know how to access these needs. If people or credible entities do not step in to provide the needs, these particular people always suffer. The reason is that some of them may have come in irregularly and they don't trust the state institutions, they don't trust other persons, so they need entities that they can trust.
The project is to be implemented in 9 regions within the next 5 years.
Now, violence between the army and a paramilitary group called the Rapid Support Forces has left around 100 people dead, a doctors' union said. Now, hospitals have been shelled in Sudan as fighting between rival armed factions continues for a 3rd day. Patients in the capital have appealed for safe passage as gun battles rage in the city. Both sides claim to control key sites in the capital where residents sheltered from explosions. The Sudan Doctors Trade Union says there has been severe damage to Al-Shab Teaching Hospital in the capital, along with 2 other hospitals caused by clashes and mutual shelling. It called the attacks a violation of international law. And that's all for the 6 a.m. news here on TV3. My name is Judith Awatche Tando. Of course, Roland Walker is here with me in the studio with the rest of New Day.